Hi, hello, welcome to Eagle Media Works and you're watching Business Watch. And in this episode of Business Watch, we have a special guest. She is an image consultant, she is a designer, she does events and many more things. She is Priya Rajiv and let's talk to her. Hi Priya.
Hello.
And thank you so much for giving us this time.
Thank you.
I was reading about you and Priya Rajiv, image consultant. So what is image consultant?
Image consultant is something which is, it's all in the name itself. When you hear the word image is a picture. So image is what you project yourself to be. So an image consultant is a person who tells someone or who guides someone how to look, how to carry themselves, how to dress up for the right occasion. So it's all about presenting yourself correctly. So that's what our role is all about.
Right, and you also deal with corporates, individuals and other firms too.
Yes.
So what kind of talking do you do before you actually speak to them about image consultancy and all of that?
So the thing is that a lot of people make a lot of investments when it comes to studies or when it comes to sports, or very few parents or adults actually invest in themselves or in their children in terms of building their personality. So a kid can probably get into IIT with all the coaching classes and then after that excel in IIT, join an MBA school, get in, because obviously academics is given a lot of importance in our country. But sometimes one fails to understand the importance of how the person should present themselves and look, because 52% of the judgment of a person is made by the way they look. So you may be excellent in your work, you may be extremely neat in your work, but if you come for an interview and you don't look very well groomed, without you realizing, half your battle is lost. So as an image consultant, it is our duty to ensure that people look their best at all times. No matter, people say never judge a book by its cover. But unfortunately, the truth is that people do judge you the way you look. So that's what it's all about.
So again, emphasizing on the fact that you are an image consultant, you do speak to people about how do they look and all of that.
Correct.
So when they actually come to you and say that they need some kind of an advice.
Yeah.
So what kind of things that you speak to them so that they feel comfortable and you understand what you have to deliver to them?
Okay, so the first thing that an image consultant needs to be is you shouldn't be intimidating. Okay, the minute someone says stylist or image consultant or etiquette consultant, people start becoming very conscious. So our idea as image consultants is to make them feel first comfortable, feel confident, and it's our duty to just polish them. Okay, so everyone has something good in them. They have some features which are good, some features which are probably not as good as their good features, but it's our duty to make sure that we highlight what's good in them and guide them in such a way that they never feel small or underconfident. Because the minute you have a condescending attitude or you tell your client or someone that, listen, you're not good enough, you're like sort of diminishing his spirits or her spirits. So you need to actually motivate them and tell them that, listen, we've all had our journey. I mean, it's all about metamorphosis. It's about a caterpillar to a butterfly. Okay, as long as you understand that, okay, these are my flaws. Maybe I know what to wear, but I'm not comfortable speaking in public. Or I speak really well, but I don't know what goes with what. So first find out what is it that they want from us. So I think the best way to deal with a client is to ask questions rather than go out there and tell them what to do. Ask them what they want from us. What is their shortcoming? What is the area where they feel, okay, this is going to change their life, it's going to change their business. So that's how we work.
Right. And what is the difference when you're dealing with individuals vis-a-vis corporates?
Okay, so corporates is generally, when corporates hire us, we do a lot of group workshops. So nowadays a lot of corporates invest a lot in their employees. So they take them for trips, or they have like these weekend retreats, or they even do it in their corporate offices. So when a corporate hires us, it's more like a workshop. So it's a workshop where you talk about power dressing and how to, first impressions last, how to say the right thing at the right time. So for us, it's more like a PowerPoint, and we talk to about 100 people 50 people. There are some corporates who like to hire us for like a smaller group of 10 women. Especially around Women's Day, we get a lot of calls saying that we want to surprise the women with something nice, and at the same time it has to be presented also very correctly to the women or the men, because no one should feel like, oh, am I not good enough? Why are they signing us up for this, you know? So in a corporate, it's more like a workshop, it's more like a group. And you ask me about individuals, it's more one-on-one.
Right. Again, taking from that point where you have said that people should not get intimidated.
Yes.
The moment you speak to them and you tell them that, you know, you have to dress in a particular way, speak in a particular way and all of that, they do have their inhibitions, right?
They do.
How do you...
So what we do is, see, I've been extremely fortunate to be trained with the best, okay? So I trained in London. I went to this image consultancy called Aston and Hayes. So they did a very nice workshop with me where they trained me to understand the person's signature style. So suppose there's someone who comes in who's a little traditional, probably in the way he dresses or the way she dresses, the way she talks. I find out what is her core style personality by doing a small quiz. So when she's not going to realize that I'm actually judging her, because it's very disguised, it's nicely done, it's fun, it's more like an eye-opener. So once we do that, then I know that this person has a very classic type of an image. So if I try to change her wardrobe or his wardrobe and try to make it flamboyant or incorporate a lot of colors into it, they're going to run away. They'll probably do it for a week and then probably not want to see my face after that. But if I understand what is their core personality and I say, okay, she's comfortable wearing Indian, why should I change her to wear a Western? I mean, being modern doesn't mean that you have to wear Western clothes. For me, I admire people who carry Indian outfits with utmost confidence and feel proud about it. So, and then at the same time, if I have a client who loves experimenting, who loves flamboyance, then I'm like, okay, this personality type is someone who the more I throw into her or his face, the more he's going to like. So then people don't feel intimidated at all. And in fact, a lot of clients tell me that they actually feel a bit healed after spending time with me, and they feel a lot more confident. So I think it's the training which I've probably...
Wonderful. Again, training.
Yes.
People generally don't understand what an image consultant is.
True.
And if you actually say that there is a training to become an image consultant,
correct,
they don't even, you know, think about it.
True.
And they just dismiss it off and saying, yeah, ye to bas kuch aur karne wale hain and all of that.
Correct.
So talk about the training that you have undergone.
So the training programs are very different in every place. So my husband was transferred to London, and that's when I went to this particular school. I first went to London College of Fashion. And when I was studying there, I got to know that the training was nice, it was basic, but was more in terms of styling. So then I wanted to dig deeper into personality enhancement. So then I joined the school which I just mentioned. So it is expensive. The courses are probably in lakhs in India as well, and a lot of parents even hesitate saying, why do you want to be an image consultant? But I feel if you are warm, if you're fond of clothes, if you're fond of dressing up, if you are conscious about the way people look around you, I think it's a right profession. And if you choose what you like to do and if you're good at it, you will excel. So I know a lot of image consultants and stylists now who are doing really well. And probably, see, I started 7 years ago and I started in London. And at that time, things were just picking up in India. But now, when I've come back here, I've seen the change. I've seen how excellent our stylists are, the clothes, the way people dress in corporates. Even if you go down to Gachibowli and you see the crowd, I think now people are much more conscious than what they were 10 years ago. And I think it's a lot of credit goes to organizations for hiring people like us.
And also there goes a lot of research into this, right?
Yes.
It is just not about knowing people and knowing their styles.
True.
Even you have to know what kind of deliverables that you have to deliver.
True.
And all the other kind of learnings that are associated.
True.
So what was your learning when you were taking up the course?
So when I started the course in London, it was a huge change of modules when I moved here. So when I moved to London, when I trained in London and I worked with people in London, the main thing was the weather. So the weather was drab, the weather was dreary, so people would dress in blacks, greys, and so when in London, when I had to train them on color, it was a refreshing change. I mean, people would see like, oh my God, wow, I didn't know this color would look good on me, and I didn't know that this style would suit me, and I've been just wearing these drab colors all through my life. So the whole psychology of clients were very different in London. Then when I came back here, I realized that people are already into a lot of color. People are already very experimental. But over here, I started working on helping people to sober down a bit. Instead of having a sari on where people notice the sari first, I started working on color tones where people notice the person first. So when we were in London, this is called the blink test. They ask us to do a blink test, and we have to blink and see what is it that registers the most. So if it's the clothing, that means the clothes are wearing you. But if it's the face, that means you're wearing the clothes, and that's just how it should be.
Right.
So it's very different everywhere. Even if you travel within India, it's very different in Hyderabad, it's very different in Bombay, it's different, right? Because people are different, culture is different. So we have to be like chameleons and keep changing according to where we are.
And again, image consultancy is a completely different thing from a fashion designer, right?
It is.
People sometimes they happily, conveniently, they
Correct.
actually swap things for each other.
True.
So can you just explain the difference so that our audience can also know it?
Okay, so if I am a designer as well. I help my mom-in-law with her business. So as a designer, you love everything you create because it's your creation. You've thought about it, you've added the colors, you've added the gold, you've added the sequence. So when a client comes to you, you say, my God, this is really, it's more about the fabric. But for the image consultant, it is more about the person. Like, see, when I do bridal styling, I have a lot of clients who actually take me down to Nikhil Shantanu or Sabyasachi to find out, because see, they're investing in lakhs. If they have a stylist or an image consultant, I'll be like, don't take the peach, take the blue. Or don't take this color, this is going to wear you, take this. So we are actually working parallelly with the designers, and at the same time we respect designers. So we'll never come in the way, but we'll probably say, do you have this in another style or another color? So that's how we are different from fashion designers. And
after talking to you, I've realized that it is not only the color knowledge.
Yes.
You should also have some kind of psychological intelligence also to
Yes.
gauge what is
Yes.
you're doing.
In fact, you need to be intuitive. And you also see, a lot of us are governed by beliefs and barriers. Okay. Now, while growing up, if your parents have told you, listen, you don't look good in this color, or you don't look good in these jeans, or you don't go, it stays in your mind. It stays in your mind, and then you tend to carry a lot of baggage with you. Okay, it need not be even your dressing. It can be even in your confidence level. Like, for example, if someone in school says that, hey, listen, you always stutter when you go up on stage. You may have been 10 or 11, but that stays in your mind for the rest of your life. And then you have to really work hard to get rid of it. So I think there's a lot of mentoring that also goes with image consultancy, because looks is okay, 52% of it. But what about the remaining? You need to make sure that your client is absolutely confident and comfortable inside out, so because what happens if you style them externally, after some time it all withers, because basically the self-confidence is not nourished. So you're right, it's a lot of mentoring, a lot of motivation, a lot of intuition, a lot of it's a game of psychology.
And sometimes you really get very innocent people to come to you.
True.
So how do you deal with them?
Actually, I love those people because I literally hold their hand and I'm like, listen, I'm there for you. Don't worry about it at all. And it's like a guide. So sometimes you need to be like a leader. Sometimes you need to be like a guide. Sometimes you need to be like a counselor. So, and all these have different functions. Sometimes you need to be a coach. So a coach is someone who keeps asking questions and helping people to come up with the answer. But a trainer is someone who says like, this is what you have to do. So, we have to keep wearing these different hats and working accordingly. But I love people who are innocent because I feel they're the ones who actually need us. And I think if they come to the right person, they also get the right knowledge and they go out very confident.
And that is very important, right? They completely surrender themselves.
They do.
And then they expect something to happen from outside.
They do.
And they also want to get confident from inside.
They do.
And it is a very, very, I should say, a gentle kind of a relationship.
It's a gentle and it's very fragile. So that's why a lot of people ask me, like, why don't you talk about what you do? Why don't you share your image consultancy on Facebook? I said, I can't do that because everyone comes to me. There's a rapport that's built. There are a lot of secrets that are exchanged. And sometimes even me, I open up to them because when you're meeting people, you're talking, you give them your stories as well. You tell them that, listen, I used to be underconfident too. But then you don't want to go talking about it. You don't want to publicize your client. So I feel it's fragile. It has to be nurtured and it has to be taken care of right through, giving the right respect to the client.
You also have to have that personal connect also.
You do. So I never talk about my clients and their names because I just feel it's something very personal.
And sometimes you get the quite opposite people.
Yeah, you do.
It should be a very painful job.
No, actually speaking, I think because probably I love people and being, was in the airline for service industry 10 years, I'm very patient with people. I mean, I think that's my strength because no matter how many questions they ask me or whatever, I just handle them with patience, and because I think it's genuine love for them, so when people are very loud, demanding and everything, I think that also is okay. I think people, after they see me, after 15 minutes they calm down. I don't know why. I think I just have that calming energy. People calm down and I think they also come back on track.
Sometimes they ask for more options and
they do. In fact, sometimes people want to extract everything from you, and I think that's also okay because it is a psychology, something which is deeply ingrained. Take as much as you can, and people are greedy. Everyone's greedy, even I'm greedy. So, you just have to understand, and then you need to know exactly when to tell them, listen, I can't do more than this. I mean, I've done much more than what you've signed up for. So now it's time for you to help yourself. I can't always keep doing these things for you or hand holding or whatever. And people also, after they finish their sessions with me, they like to stay in touch with me just for reassurance.
Right.
You know you're good, your wife may tell you're good, your friends may tell you, but if you get it from a consultant that, listen, you're still rocking. So, it makes a huge difference.
And also putting aside the business prospect of it.
Yes.
When people actually ask you about your opinion,
true,
there is a lot more trust. There is a lot more emotional connect that they want to establish and want to speak about. So how do you feel about that, because at one stage, it is more than a business. It is more than what you have signed up.
Correct. No, I feel, in fact, I feel there's a lot of gratitude which comes with this as well, because it's like blind trust.
Right.
It's like you go to your doctor, and he tells you, diagnoses what you have, you just trust him. Right? So similarly, when the client comes to me, there'll be like 3-4 people, they'll come with friends and they'll be like, why don't you go for this? Or they'll say that, why don't you opt for this? And they'll just turn to me and say, Priya, what do you feel? And by the time this conversation is going on with the friends, in my head, I've already visualized that person in these different garments. And I'm like, just take this green and just forget about everything else. And then they know, and then they call back saying that, listen, I'm so happy that you recommended this because these are the compliments I've got. And I also feel for me, it's a learning experience. And I feel even I'm getting better every year, with every client, every person I meet. It's just a learning and evolving kind of a role.
And again, image consultant careers in India, if I have to ask you this question.
Yes.
How it is going forward? Are there any opportunities? Or are there any learning courses and all?
No, see, there are a lot of courses, there are a lot of colleges, institutes which are offering it now. I think even another institute in Hyderabad was thinking of getting in this in a design school. So there are opportunities, but I feel any role which is a little out of the ordinary requires passion and drive. And patience, yes. Passion, drive and patience. So if you have drive and if you have passion and if you know how to deal with people, you will be a success. But at the same time, you may go through all your course and you'll keep procrastinating, waiting for the right time, and then you sort of lose out. So I think if you're passionate and driven, there's nothing stopping you.
I also feel this is more linked towards entrepreneurship rather than people actually looking for a job.
Yes.
Is it what stopping people from taking up these careers or stopping families, typical Indian families?
It is, because there's no consistency in income.
Right.
See, what happens is in our country, wherever we are, any country, anywhere, we want consistency. I mean, it's suppose I was a man and I know that, oh, I'll do well only during Diwali or I'll do well before New Year's. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
You need to do something which is going to give you the same kind of revenue throughout the year. So that's why that could be a deterrent to a lot of people who want to pursue it. A lot of people do two things, like they have a main job going and then they have this going on the side. But I feel if you commit yourself 100% to it, and you need to keep designing modules, like you should know that, okay, during Diwali I'm going to get a lot of women clients, during wedding season I'm going to get a lot of brides, during summer holidays I'm going to get a lot of kids. So if you think of it like a business plan and make sure that in the month of Jan you have your business calendar ready, saying that, okay, Jan is going to be focusing on this, May is for kids. So that's why in a job like this, with image consultancy, I feel you have to keep evolving and educating yourself. You have to keep upgrading your knowledge with courses after courses, because people are also evolving. So what I did 6 years ago could be a little redundant now, you're right? So I have to keep seeing what's happening internationally, what's happening in our country, and try to create the right fusion. So you have to keep studying.
You have studied in London.
Yes.
Actually, your first client was also from London, I believe.
Yes.
And then you have come to India.
Yes.
There should be a lot of difference, right, about how Indians go.
In London, I got my clients really easily because they all, many of them were open to change, and people abroad are, open to wearing different kinds of things. In India, people are open. But sometimes if I tell a person that, you should wear these colors, if it's a guy he'll be like, oh no, but this color my wife totally dislikes. And I don't blame us. I mean, we are all like this. It's a very insular community. We all are dependent on each other you will not buy an outfit and not show anyone in your house. You will show it to everyone. You will want everyone. So I just feel that it's different and both are beautiful. I mean, so I love, so now when I meet clients in India, I'm like, do you have any things that you want to share with me? Is there any outfit someone in your house, or a color which someone doesn't like? And then I work around it, because at the end of the day, you don't want your client to wear things which are not appreciated by her spouse.
And then get back to you and say,
So it's better to do a proper. So I think the best way is to ask a lot of questions and get to know your client really well before you start.
Thank you so much, Priya, for your wonderful time, and we wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. And we'll again talk to you about styling manners and all the other things that you do in the next episode. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe to Eagle Media Works, and stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Like and subscribe Eagle Media Works.